What was it like having sex with James for the first time? Oh my god. Only because you guys are my best friends, I'm gonna show you what is in my bedside drawer. Hey guys, I missed you. I feel like I have not done a sit-down video in so long, and today's is gonna be so fun and juicy, and we're just gonna chat about all things girl talk. Basically, I'm gonna be answering the questions that you're too scared to ask your mom. It's kind of like a little big sister advice sit-down video, and I'm so excited. I'm also so excited for this video because I'm actually collaborating with Bellessa, and we're gonna be doing an amazing giveaway in this video. Every single person who enters this giveaway will receive something. Everyone's a winner. You will either receive a vibrator or a gift card for a vibrator. Everyone's a winner in this, and I cannot wait to get into it. So I asked you guys to leave some questions on my Instagram, some girl talk questions, anything you have, the juicier the better. And so I'm basically going to be answering these questions right now. Okay, I actually love this first one. The first question is about penetrative sex for women, and basically about how hard it is for women to orgasm from penetrative sex. This person said 70 to 90% of women can't orgasm from penetrative sex. I am one of those women, and I actually do agree that this is not talked about enough. I feel like in books, in movies, in porn, like in everything, it's always shown women having an orgasm while having sex, and while there are women that can and that it comes easy to them, there's majority of women cannot. And so I feel like it's not very normalized, it's not talked about enough. A lot of women think there's something wrong with them because they're like wondering why they can't have an orgasm or don't have orgasms while they're having sex. This is so normal. I cannot, and I never have been able to, and it's not something that I am upset about or insecure about. I know that it's something that is normal, but I feel like a lot of women don't know this. So some people can have orgasms from penetrative sex, whereas most women can only have orgasms from like clitoral stimulation, essentially. And again, totally normal. And that's why I love Bellessa. Bellessa is going to be your new best friend. They make so many different types of sex toys, and all of them are amazing. They're soft, they're easy to use, they're fun, they're stimulating. Because I'm someone who can't orgasm from penetrative sex, I need some sort of other stimulation, right? So Bellessa literally has something for everybody. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of my favorite toys that they have. And again, they're gonna be doing this huge giveaway, so make sure that you enter the giveaway below. You are guaranteed to win something. I have to start with my absolute favorite, which is the Pebble. First of all, before we even get into it, can we just talk about the discreet and cute casing that the toys come in, and you can actually charge them in the case. So obviously this is great if you like live with your parents, or you know, if you just don't want to have your toys out and about where everyone can see them, which is very understandable. So you can charge them in the case. It looks very non-discreet. No one would ever look at this and wonder what it is. I feel like it just I don't know. I wouldn't know what it is. I wouldn't question it. So you can charge them in the case, and voila. This one is my favorite because it has a clit suction on it. If you've never tried one of these, let me tell you, this is a life changer. This is a game changer. This will genuinely change your life. I'm not even joking. These ones are amazing. I love how tiny it is. It fits perfectly in your hand. Like, it literally, I don't know, like it fits so well. It's so comfortable. It's soft. It's amazing. I'll actually just turn it on for you guys to kind of show you. So this is a little suction. It literally like suctions. I can feel it sucking my finger. Life changing. Life changing. Moving on to the Air Vibe. Again, discreet packaging. I also love like the different colors. I love that. Again, same kind of charging case. So this one is great because it is kind of like a 2-in-1. So she has the suction thing just like the Pebble right here, but then this can go inside. So it's like a 2-in-1, basically like a vibrator and a suction in one. Amazing. She's cute. We love her. I'll turn this one on as well. So we got like the vibrator, the suction, both going on at the same time. And again, they have like different settings. You can make it go faster. Like, this is extreme mode. You can change the settings, which is amazing. And I also love how the products are not super loud and annoying. They're very discreet, which is important to me. Like, I have neighbors. I live in an apartment. I don't want the whole world hearing what's going on. You know what I mean? And again, if you like live with roommates or you live with your family. Next, we have the Demi Wand. Again, cute packaging. I feel like this kind of just looks like a little sunglasses case or something. Like, if I saw this sitting on someone's bedside table, I would be like, oh, it's like a little sunglass case or their glasses. I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna question it. Super cute. Love all the colors again. So this is kind of just like your classic vibrator. She is bendy, which is amazing. You can hit all those angles. I love how it's like a little wand, like, ooh. It's literally called the Demi Wand. It's so quiet. I feel like you can barely even hear it. Bendy, different settings, make it go faster. the whole thing. Last one is the thumb. Again, looks like it's just a little sunglasses case. This one is amazing. She's almost like a 3-in-1. So we have the little suction on the back. So we got the clit suction, and it's also a vibrator, so it vibrates. And then it also has this thing on the top, which is like a thump. So kind of like, I don't know, I feel like you understand what I'm saying. Basically does it all. So it has multiple settings, obviously, because we have multiple things going on. So this is the thump. Super light. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see like my finger is thumping. Amazing. And of course you can change the settings, make it go faster. Then we have the clit, then we have the suction going on, and then we also have the vibrator. So we got all three going on at the same time. This thing is amazing. I feel like she literally does it all. I absolutely love Bellesa, and I'm so happy to be partnering with them for this giveaway. Bellesa's mission is to empower everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. Also a by women company for all things sexual wellness. I absolutely love them, so make sure you enter the giveaway down below. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What was it like having sex with James for the first time? This is a juicy question. I love that you guys want to know. I'm gonna keep it so real with you guys because again, you guys are my best friends. I met James through Bumble on a Bumble date, and so we basically met up, we got some drinks, we hung out, and I'm just gonna keep it so for real with you guys. I was totally on the dating apps for one thing and one thing only, and let me tell you, it was not to get into a relationship, but here we are literally 5 years later. So things worked out, and we did end up sleeping together on the first date. And I know they tell you not to do that. I know that that's like the advice everyone gives is don't sleep with them on the first date. Well, I did, and here we are 5 years later. So I'm not telling you to go do that, but I'm just saying it all worked out for the best. I feel like because I went into it without sort of any expectations of like, let's make this a romantic thing, let's make this a long-term thing. And I don't really think he went in there with that mindset as well. I think we were kind of both on the same page, but we both ended up really liking each other. I always joke and say that our relationship was a one-night stand went wrong, but here we are. Without giving away all of the details, it was good. It was actually funny because James was sharing a room at the time with another guy. Like they were sort of like, not bunkmates, but you know, like they shared a room. And it was interesting because we had to go out in the living room and kind of do things and then kicked his roommate out for like an hour and then let him back in, and it was all good. Okay, we have two big questions here. Are you getting married and are you having kids? Those are some big ones. Those are the loaded questions, but let's talk about it. Having kids and getting married, like I don't know about you guys. I'm 26 years old and I feel like I'm literally 21 or like genuinely still a teenager. And I know everybody always says that, but like genuinely, when I see people my age having kids and getting married, I'm like, whoa, they're so young. Like that's crazy. It just seems foreign to me, even though I'm like at the age that it's like so completely normal and acceptable to do that. But for some reason, it just seems crazy to me. I'm like, I can't imagine getting married right now. I can't imagine having kids right now. So with that being said, eventually I do see myself getting married. Me and James obviously have been dating for 5 years. We've talked about it before. We're definitely both open to the idea, and I think eventually we would. But right now we're both extremely focused on just our careers and our lives and just kind of doing our thing. And we're both really content with where we're at right now in life, that we don't really feel this like super big urge to get married right away. Not that it's right away, it's been 5 years that we've been together, but like James also has like kind of a warped perception on marriage. He's not like fully convinced that it's the greatest thing ever, whereas I have a really great example with my parents on how to have like a loving, long-lasting marriage. Even with that being said, I've never been the type of person, even when I was younger, that's like, I can't wait to get married. Like, I can't wait for my wedding day. It's gonna be the best day of my life. I can't wait to pick out my dress. I'm like planning my wedding in my head. Like, I've genuinely never been like that, never really cared that much. But do I want to get married one day? Yes, I do. Anytime soon, TBD. Having kids, I'm so on the fence about. At the moment, I'm definitely leaning way more towards not having kids, but I go back and forth with this every day. It honestly scares me. Like, this question scares me and fills me with fear because I don't know, and I feel like I should, even though it's okay to not know. It's okay to not be sure. I just feel like there's so many things to think about and so many factors to weigh in on this decision. It's a huge decision, and I actually feel like people do not take it seriously enough. I feel like people just have kids willy-nilly without thinking about the consequences and how much energy and time that it takes. And I feel like it's actually important to really sit and think about what your life would look like with kids, how much your life would change. Are you willing to give all of these things up when you have children? Because there are a lot of sacrifices you have to make, especially with your own time and energy. And I'm gonna be the first one to say it. I am very selfish with my time and energy. I love my time and I love having like being able to do what I want, and when you have kids, you can't just do that. So it's something that I really have to think about. James does want kids for sure. Well, mostly for sure. I would say he's like 95% sure, and I am completely not sure. I would say right now I'm like 60% no, 40% yes. And I think the yes part is me more like, I think when I think about the baby stages and the little kid stages, it doesn't really appeal to me. But when I see my parents' relationship with me, and like when you get older and having like older kids and being able to watch them grow up and then having grandkids, like that to me seems really cool. But obviously you can't have that without having the beginning stages. And I think that if I can have kids and I want to have kids, I think I would want my own biological kids, but I'm definitely open to adoption as well. So I don't know. I don't know. That's my final answer. Okay, somebody asked how to get comfortable letting your man pleasure you and releasing insecurities about it. I feel like there's so much stigma around just sex in general, especially for women, that there's always all of this shame and kind of insecurities around it. And I really like, it's so hard to just be like, just feel empowered. And I feel like that's kind of what people try to tell you. And so it's definitely a lot more deeper than that. But I think for one, you really need to accept the fact that you deserve to be pleasured, and you deserve to, like, you are deserving of these things, because I feel like a lot of people maybe feel like they're not, and that's why they kind of have this shame around it. Also, I would say just like get really comfortable just with your own self and like pleasuring yourself and really figuring out what it is that you like so that you can communicate that to the person that you're with. I think just making sure like you feel comfortable in the setting, you're kind of in the right headspace. If you have to like kind of set the scene, make sure you're super relaxed. If you feel like super stressed or anxious, it's not going to come easy to you and it's not going to be very fun. So I would say just really make sure you're in the right headspace. Wind down, relax, whatever you have to do to get in that space. That's usually what helps me. Like if I'm like really stressed or anxious about something, I can't really focus on that. Like, you know, I need to be excited about it. Okay, this is a great question. Someone said how to keep things spicy in a long-term relationship. I'm obviously in a long-term relationship, and I feel like it is so true that as time goes on, you kind of get so used to each other and you kind of end up getting into this little routine where things aren't really that spicy anymore. Like you feel like you've done it all. You kind of just like do the same things every time. It's maybe not as fun. Bringing some toys into the mix, guys, I would say number one. Number one thing, I would try that for sure. Because that's just fun and fresh, especially because Melissa has so many different ones you can try. So like, you know, experiment. Close your eyes, pick one out of the bag. You never know. I feel like there's a lot of fun little ways that you can spice things up. Obviously, like trying new things. Trying things that you haven't done before is number one. Again, getting into the right headspace. Like it's kind of hard if you guys are just going through the same routine day after day and then trying to spice things up, because it's like, I don't know, you're just kind of like in your little routine. So maybe like go on a little date night, get dressed up, cook dinner together, you know, do something romantic. Again, setting the scene, and then who knows where that will lead. Okay, somebody asked, did your first time actually feel good or was it painful? I would say my first time wasn't painful, so to speak, but I also wouldn't say that it like felt amazing, you know? Like it wasn't mind-blowingly awesome and super, super good. It was also really quick, as I would imagine most people's first time is. It didn't hurt. It didn't really hurt, but it was just kind of, I think maybe it was more just the adrenaline of it all was like very exciting that I kind of like don't even remember what it felt like. It definitely felt different than it does now, because I feel like your first time is, you know, your body and you are just not used to it. So it's definitely a different experience, but yeah, it wasn't painful. Okay, somebody asked, did you struggle with sex drive on birth control? I did. And this is coming from somebody who is like an extremely sexual person. I would say I have a higher than average sex drive, and I always have, but I didn't really realize how much my sex drive had been impacted and dulled while I was on the pill. Then I got until I got off of the pill, and then I realized, holy crap. Like, I have been suppressed for quite some time, and I was on the pill for a long time. I don't know, some of you may not know this, but I kind of went on a getting off the pill journey last year. I think it was actually maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2022, October 2022. I got off birth control pill after being on it for years, like pretty much since I was 16, on and off of it, but mostly on it. And I finally was just over it. I knew that it wasn't good for me. I knew that it just wasn't good. I felt like I had, like I've never really had like depression or anything, but I felt like I would have these crazy mood swings where it would literally be like I would have 2 weeks where I was like happy, feeling good, everything's great, have like lots of energy, and then I would literally crash and go through these like 2 weeks of just like absolute depression, feeling like zero motivation, no energy, and it was like very much like up and down, like this huge roller coaster, and I just felt like that wasn't normal. And so I got off the pill, and I actually have a whole video about mostly my acne, but I kind of go through like what it was like getting off the pill and the after effects and everything. So if you guys are interested, I do have a video on that, because I did get hormonal acne after I got off of it, but that's kind of another story. I got off of it, and I genuinely, like, I cannot explain to you how different of a person I felt after getting off of it. My sex drive went literally through the roof. Like, it was like I felt like a teenager. I was feral, rabid, like crazy. And so I was like, okay, this is wild, because I haven't felt like this since I was a teenager, before I was on birth control. And now I'm back to like, I literally felt like how you feel like when you're a teenager, you know, just like crazy all the time, which was wild. And so yeah, obviously birth control definitely affected my sex drive. It also just affected my energy, my mood. After getting off the pill, I had so much more energy. My mood swings were just not nearly so up and down. Like, they were more like this, which I think is normal. Like, you know, you have good days, you have bad days, but it was not like these super big highs, these super big lows. It was just kind of like everything's good all the time. And then when it's not, it's like, everything will be fine. Like, it was never like these super big depressions. Like, of course I have days where I feel unmotivated, but it wasn't these huge ups and downs. So really quickly, I'm using natural cycles to track my cycle naturally now that I'm not on the pill. This is basically like a fertility tracker. So some people use it when they're trying to get pregnant. People use it when they're not trying to get pregnant. It basically takes your temperature in the morning and it links to an app, and you input it first thing in the morning, and it's like a little subscription. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I love tracking my cycle, just knowing where I'm at. Obviously, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would suggest using other things. Like, me and James use the pull-out method, which it works for us. Maybe it's not the funnest, but I just like it. Obviously, if you're not in a relationship, I would suggest condoms as well, because, you know, STDs and all that, and just being safe. But it's still great. I just feel like way more in tune with my body and in sync with my body, and now I know like which phase of the cycle I'm in all the time. My periods are so much more regular now, and actually a little bit heavier, but way shorter. Like, my periods are like 3 days long, whereas when I was on the pill, they were like a full week long. I would rather have them heavier and shorter than lighter and longer, but that's just me personally. And then I also started taking Clear Stem for my hormonal balance, and also to get rid of my hormonal acne, which it worked, because I don't have it anymore, which is great. All right, guys, those are all the questions I'm answering. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and they're so fun for me to make. I had a really good time. I hope that you enjoyed it. And again, don't forget to enter the Valessa giveaway down below. Thank you so much to Valessa for sponsoring today's video. Remember, if you enter, you will be winning something. I feel like I need to do like the little, and I'm Angelina Nicole, and you're watching Disney Channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.